We good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have music.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yeah, you got to do that thing that we do. You seem so far away.
Hi, Chelsea.
Hi, Chelsea.
We love you so much. Thank you for watching every week. We're using Cam's music again. I hope that's okay.
I'm just going to... We're going to hate ourselves later.
Just right there. That's okay. Perfectly fine.
Oh, God.
You know what we need?
What? Oh, drinks.
Yep.
Just take off your mic. I'll hold it.
Don't let me forget that it was right there.
Okay.
Be right back.
I got you. I'll put it on my other boob. Oh, my God. There we go. Oh, God. It's good music. Probably shouldn't say I have no job.
No. Yeah, no, don't say that. Also, now it's on the internet.
That's right. Whatever. Don't give a shit. Unemployment, bitches. Ooh, do we like
Oh,
that?
there you go. Yeah. That's perfect.
Look at that. All right, make sure my thing is up. Ah! I like how the first person who called me yesterday to like talk about this job thing was my hairdresser. I'm gonna start talking about it, I promise.
$30 seconds.
All right, so you'll be able to keep track of comments over here.
I will.
And we have to talk about this.
Well, never mind.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome to Under Further Review. I'm Kata.
I'm Andrew. This is the show where two lushes talk about sports and we get drunk while we do it.
Woo!
Thank you, everybody, for joining us on Facebook Live. Podcast coming out later this week on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, wherever podcasts can be found.
Yeah.
While you're here, also be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter using the handle UFR Vodcast. We are here every Monday.
Every single Monday.
Welcome back, my love.
Thank you. You guys, I was in Mexico last week. You got a nice taste of Andrew and Paul, which was always a delight. I haven't listened to it yet.
She looks good. She got some color.
I know. Well, it's funny because I'm one of those people who just burns like the second I walk into the light. So Michael spent the entire trip like swaddling me in, that's not the right word, but whatever, in SPF 100.
What's the word? It's lathering you?
Lathering.
That's it.
SPF 100. So we were not fucking around. But yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be back. I wish I was still there, but whatever.
Don't we all wish we were all on vacation? I need a vacation.
Oh, Mexico.
Vacation, all I ever wanted.
Yeah, we're going to go on vacation soon together. It'll be fun.
Excellent.
We have 2 more episodes after today.
Oh.
And then it's the end of our season, but don't worry.
That's sad.
I know, it's actually really depressing, but don't worry. We promised everybody we're going to continue to make content and things over the summer.
Yeah, we have lots of stuff that we have
We're not
planned.
going anywhere.
Don't you worry.
Yeah.
We also have fun beer we're drinking today.
Yeah,
Let's talk about that.
Thank you to today's show sponsor, Blue Point.
Woohoo! Blue
This
Point?
is a huge deal. Andrew's not too happy about the choice that they sent us.
No, but I like Blue Point. Blue Point does good stuff. I don't. No, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a great beer. This is the Pinstripe Pilsner, which actually is only sold at Yankee Stadium. They sent this to us because they thought it was on brand, and now I don't have to go to Yankee Stadium and pay $9 for this beer.
There you go.
Yeah.
So they only sell it at Yankee Stadium, and it's only what, in the park?
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow. All right.
I think it's only in the park.
I gotta go.
I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna have to go to a Yankee game, but we're gonna get this party started. Cheers. Nice.
Oh, that's actually not bad.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's really good.
Yeah, a little dark.
Pilsner.
Yeah.
You know, got some hop to it. We're a big fan.
Wow,
so yeah.
I need this today. This was.
It's
I think we both need this today. We're sorry we're late.
But we're really happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this part of the day all goddamn day.
Yeah.
So
especially since we spent yesterday evening together watching the Academy Awards.
Exactly.
That was fun.
There's a couple more things in official show business. Thank you so much for your music. All right, thanks. We're looking for more bands to feature. So if you have a band or know someone who has a band and wants to lend us your music for our show so we don't get flagged and punished by the universe.
And muted. That's the other thing, is they mute our Facebook videos.
Yeah. We'd love to hear from you. So reach out, you know how to find us. Shoot us a message or whatever. And then last one I'll let you mention.
Yeah, so you have a dare challenge punishment to fulfill tonight. She's gonna do some stand-up for us tonight.
About like 5 minutes of stand-up.
5-ish minutes. I'm excited to hear what you have. So we are gonna call it a minimum of 5 minutes.
Oh god.
It's gonna be great.
I haven't planned very well either.
Oh, you have 2.5 hours, my friend.
I kind of started on the train here, and then I was like, maybe I shouldn't tell this story.
Oh, it's a supportive audience. It's fine. It's at Lennox Coffee. It's on 129th and Lennox, which may or may not be downstairs. It's a great open mic night. I'm going to play. I have a couple things that I'm going to play on guitar.
Because he's good at things.
She's going to do some stand-up. The Alex, who you just met, is incredible.
Yeah.
He's great. He played last week. It's great. It's a really great time. Very chill. Come out and see us.
Yeah, definitely.
Great musicians.
Definitely come out, and if you come, laugh at me.
For sure. Let's jump in.
Topic 1. We went to the dog show. We haven't talked to you guys since we went to the dog show together. So I have one question to ask Andrew now that we've been to the dog show. And that question is a question that we've asked before, and we're going to ask again now that we are here. Andrew, is dog showing a sport yet?
It is more of a sport now than it was before I went to the dog show.
It's a sport.
Well, I mean,
it can't be. There's no middle ground. It's not kind of a sport.
It's a sport
it's a sport or it's not.
It's a sport for the animals, yeah.
I think it's a sport for the handlers as well.
So here's the thing: we heard that the Westminster Dog Show is the second oldest continuous sporting event in America, behind the Kentucky Derby,
right?
Which also features animals. And I wonder about the difference between the two, because the Kentucky Derby is first and foremost a race.
Well, yeah.
Dog showing is a sport in that there was a lot of training, athletic training involved, and there is a winner.
There's also the agility portion,
which I wish we saw more of.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see a lot of agility. We went on the final days. But yeah, we will go again. We want to make this dog coverage a real thing. Did you have a favorite dog?
Yes. I met a Norwich Terrier.
Oh, yes, you're so cute.
A little chicken nugget. It's like if a chicken nugget were a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was Belle. She got a very, very loud applause during the Terrier group. And when she made it into the top 8, mm-hmm. but she didn't make it into the top 4. Mm-hmm. And when she didn't make it into the top 4, the crowd booed the judge's decision. It was wild.
Wow, these people are like intense about their damn dog.
The garden got loud.
Yeah.
I was there day 2 for Best in Show. It was loud.
Yeah, I wasn't able to go, but
for day 2 for Best in Show, they picked the Wire Fox Terrier, who wins all the time.
Right.
And when they picked the Wire Fox Terrier, the crowd booed again because there were 2 fan favorite dogs in the Best of 7 group. There was a long-haired dachshund named Bean, I believe.
Bean! Yes, everyone was yelling Bean!
Bean! And then the Essex Spaniel named Burns was also a fan favorite. They were wonderful. And they should have won. But King, the Wire Fox Terrier, ended up winning.
These people are vicious. Like, it's nuts. I mean, we also, I thought it was funny. We saw a lot of like diva handlers and dogs, 100% in that grooming arena.
There were some. Most of them were nice, but a couple of them were just like straight up divas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
A couple of them were. I'm not going to name any
hair
names.
Clips and whatever, but it was a little nuts. But a lot of people were really nice and talked to us. Where we released a video. Words are hard. We released a video. When was it? Like, I don't know.
A couple days ago.
Yeah,
you were still in Mexico.
I was still in Mexico.
Late last week, Thursday or Friday.
It was our interview with Dusky and Kira. They were really, really cool. We're going to release more content in the coming, week or so?
Video editing is very difficult, especially when it's on crunch time, but I'm working on it.
We're working on stuff.
Lots of fun things. So we just posted an album to Facebook today of all the dogs that we saw. Go ahead and check that out. Yeah. That's on our Facebook page.
Yeah, they were all very good dogs.
Yeah.
They're all good dogs, Brent.
I have so much more respect for the people who do things like this.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a lot like breeding horses or what have you.
Right.
Yeah, a lot more respect for the people who do this now that I've actually been there. When you go, Paul said that he didn't get it, and I told him that when you go, you get it, for sure.
Well, I think the thing is, also, like, I kind of went in with the whole idea, like, oh, you know, when I have a dog, like, that's going to be like my child.
Yeah.
I feel like these dogs are just used for show and money or whatever, and that's not true. It was we talked with one family that they breed dogs, which, you know, say what you want about that, but they love all of their dogs and they do it as a family, and it's this whole big thing.
This is the one with the Greyhound? Greyhound family? Greyhound family. They were cool. They were the first people that we interviewed. Yeah.
I'm also writing up a piece for it for A Lost Life. That should be out hopefully tonight or tomorrow. It kind of just depends on when I can get my ass in gear. Like we said, a bit of a hectic day.
Sure.
But I will post that to give you guys a little bit more of a picture of what that experience was like for us. What with just the idea of flashing our media badges and walking into this place where we do not belong.
Absolutely surreal.
Like, whatsoever.
Yeah, I felt so special and so out of place. I was like, we're backstage at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Like, for anything, for any kind of reason.
Right. Crazy. And you had never been to the garden either, which was a big thing. Should we move on?
Let's do it. All right.
Topic 2. I'm just going to read this whole big thing. So Robert Kraft is one of approximately 100 people accused, and today he was
officially charged.
He was charged, but he was accused of soliciting prostitution as a part of a massive sex trafficking scandal. Allegedly, he is not the biggest name associated with this ring, which sprawls through Florida, but no larger quote-unquote name has been announced yet. Evidence shows that Kraft visited the Orchids of Asia day spa in Jupiter, Florida twice. We found out today one of those times was the day of the AFC Championship game at about 4 p.m. that day. And there's video evidence of his participation in paid acts of sex. A spokesperson for Kraft has denied these claims. Kraft is being charged with 2 counts of soliciting someone to commit prostitution. And it's like the first degree they said today.
Right.
Also, a spokesman from the state attorney's office in Palm Beach County said these charges they generally don't carry more than like a 60 to 100 day sentence in county jail.
60 day.
Well, no, because that's second degree. These were first degree.
Okay.
The CNN legal analyst Paul Callan said the solicitation charge often carries a minimum 100-hour community service requirement and a course on human trafficking awareness. Your first question on this was how this cripples the Patriots.
Yeah, because when I saw it on Twitter, I literally went to myself, are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was another...
It's a natural first reaction.
Just like, how dumb can you be, you know?
Like, why would you, if you're rich, just call a service and have them come to your house?
Right, but also just like, it's my first thought, and I happened to be on the UFR Twitter at the time, and it was all the LWAS people were popping up and saying, oh, okay, guess the Patriots, their franchise is over, and it was so, like, about the team,
mm-hmm.
and not about, like, this event. It was more about just like, oh, yeah, okay, great. Another reason to strip the Super Bowl, great.
Mm-hmm.
That was why my first question was, how does this cripple the Patriots? Because you, as a Giants fan, I'm sure have a lot to say about that.
Well, and I will address that. It doesn't only cripple the Patriots either. It cripples New England. I mean, Kraft also has a soccer team, the New England Revolution. It really just cripples his whole, everything that he's worked for in his career. Here's the thing. The act in itself is absolutely just despicably disgusting, in my opinion. And also, the president responded, and the fact that he responded is also disgusting, considering he won't respond to so many other things.
Just the fact that he does anything is disgusting.
Yeah, but the fact that he did is also disgusting.
Yeah.
I think it's important here to acknowledge that the real story is not Robert Kraft. The story is that there are dozens of women in Florida who are living in substandard conditions and being coerced into sex acts for money, who were likely brought over here with the promise of the American dream, and are living so far below that standard. And like, before y'all get all here she goes feminism again, I think, like, I mean, there's clear evidence. I'm going to find you this quote, that at least 6 of these women involved in the case are literally being treated as victims of sex trafficking. Look it up. There's a quote. But William Snyder, he's the Martin County Sheriff. He talked to the Boston Globe, and he said, "We've done around-the-clock surveillance. They never leave. They're squatting at the back door, cooking on a hot plate. There's no washing machines or dryers. There's no transportation. Even though they weren't in handcuffs and they weren't in cages, they were imprisoned. And the men that capitalized on their misery are the true captors." So now that all that's on the table here, we can see the true, absolute, entire grossness of these crimes. And when that truth hits, it cripples the Patriots to a massive degree, because these wealthy men who are considered gentlemen of our society they should be held to a higher standard. The NFL has they haven't really said a whole lot yet. I don't really know what they will do. I'm sure there will be a huge fine associated with this. I don't know if they can suspend him legally because he owns the team.
They can. Yeah.
I don't know, because we've never seen anything like this before with an owner. And I'm sure there will be a complete, like, I'm sure everyone in the NFL, all the owners, any managers will have to go through particular education on the exact, learning about sex trafficking, because clearly, I mean, he probably, in fairness, had no idea that these people were being treated this way. It was probably, I mean, I'm not saying it's an innocent mistake, but this is really fucking shitty.
Even if it was an innocent mistake, ignorance is still no excuse.
Absolutely not. And I think, I'm hoping too that all of this said, because obviously we both are very against the idea of sex trafficking. That said, so many people actually do make a living off of paid sex work, and they have been blocked essentially from safely soliciting their services by a bill that was passed last year called the FOSTA SESTA package, Bill 1693. And today, the fucking attorney guy who came out and was talking about everything during this press conference, and I promise I'm almost done, I'm sorry, but he comes out and he's like, it's everywhere. Like, look around. If you're at the nail salon and you're like Asian, like manicurist isn't looking you in the eye, like, report it, because it could be sex trafficking. And like, I get that, but like, there are so many bigger issues surrounded in this. And he's all like, you know, it happens a lot on Facebook, but people need a way to safely solicit their services and they can't. And as a result, people are being brought in to solicit services that they do not want to solicit. And so this is that's the scope of the problem in my eyes. And that's what I have to say on that.
Cool.
Thank you. Go ahead.
All right. So because we're a sports program, I spun this in a sports way.
Yeah.
I think everybody should know that I'm absolutely against sex trafficking. I do feel that women or people who are sex workers should be able to solicit their work freely. I think if that's the way that they're trying to make a living, then they should be able to make a living that way.
By choice.
Right, exactly. But what I'm about to say might piss some people off, and I'm just too tired to get super angry. But I feel that the statement of crippling the Patriots and crippling New England is just a pure asinine statement. And this is why. It's because it's got no bearing on the team itself. It only has bearing on the owner. Okay? It has no bearing on the team. It's got no bearing on it has and will never have, it does not and will never have bearing on the future of the Patriots and how they play on the football field. Okay?
I disagree.
Okay. Bob Kraft's son is Jonathan Kraft. He's next in line. This does not affect Jonathan. The Patriots are still in good hands, even if Bob Kraft is to step down.
But there's also the fact that this is the guy who hires everyone.
Okay.
I mean, if you have to consider the fact that if he's making such poor calls in judgment as to commit a crime such as this, then how does he judge the character adequately of the people that he's hiring on his staff?
Because he made what apparently is some kind of, innocent mistake. Yeah.
That's a
basically.
I love you, but that's a weak argument.
Okay, so what he did was stupid.
Yeah.
What he did is like a pure what the fuck kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got arrested for essentially what was in the media. Their words, not mine. He's got arrested for getting a rub and tug. Okay. That's it.
Same thing.
That's it.
Yes.
Okay. He's being arrested for being involved, and that is what we know. What we know is involved is we know that involved is video evidence of him soliciting a prostitute. And is there any evidence that Kraft knew about these poor standards that these women were living in?
We don't know. There probably is no evidence.
I'm gonna say probably not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say probably not. Okay. I think did he have direct ties to the trafficking part, or was he just in the wrong place at the wrong time and happened to get caught as part of a list of men who were paying these women to perform sexual acts?
And that is a completely valid point. The reality is that he shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Yeah, I know that. The reality is that he's being arrested for just that, for being in the wrong place at the wrong time and doing a terrible thing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, this is the NFL that we're talking about. He didn't murder anybody. There have been men that have been put away for a lot less and a lot worse. Okay? If he had direct ties to the trafficking ring, then we're talking about a totally different thing here, okay? Then we can talk about crippling New England if it comes out that he is in fact tied to this. If he knew this was happening, then I'm going to fucking smash him.
Right.
But as of right now, with the NFL and its shoddy moral compass, and honestly, his net worth as a fucking multi-billionaire, nothing's gonna come of this.
I
I'm sorry. It's a shitty thing, and it's a shitty thing to say, and to know that he's probably gonna get off. What the minimum thing is prison time, and he'll be able to pay his way out of there for bail. His reputation's absolutely going to be damaged, but I don't think there's going to be any kind of substantial change as far as future of the Patriots is concerned.
The whole situation is just so shitty.
Yeah.
I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around the fact that these things are still happening, and that the reason people care about this is because Robert Kraft is involved.
Right.
And I think that says something. It says something about the people who run this league that we love so much.
That there's something seriously wrong.
No, I mean, I'm sorry guys, I'm having a really hard time forming sentences right now because it's just so upsetting. Yeah. And I think it is our job as media and journalists, for the podcast listeners, I am using air quotes to make these big things clear. And I don't think anyone gives a fuck about the real problem at hand.
Right.
Because it's all about Robert Kraft. There are people who are literally approaching this as, oh yeah, and blah, 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 blah. Oh, and also sex trafficking. But anyways.
But here's the thing is that our world as a medium is sports.
Yeah.
And I think the people in our bubble look at it from a sports aspect. That's like the point that I took. I agree though. There is a bigger issue at hand, and I don't think the people in our bubble are going to address that immediately.
No, but the thing is that it's this whole thing with like socioeconomics and things, and everything coming into conversation with sports it's the same thing with the kneeling thing. The people who want to separate, they're like, why do we care? Because that's a political thing. Keep it out of the sports, blah, blah, blah. And that's why nobody has any fucking idea what's going on.
Right.
It's,
people will care about what they want to care about, and it's frustrating to no end. And I'll get into this more when we talk about the Oscars later at the end of the show.
Right.
But it's frustrating. Like, Bob, you done fucked up.
You done fucked up.
Sorry, bro.
But beyond that,
and it's.
I think our standards. I feel the standards of our society have led him to fucking up, and it's. Can we move on?
Yeah.
All right.
Deep breath.
Cheers.
I will cheers to that. I will cheers to deep breaths.
Cheers to deep breaths
and cleansing.
And we're obviously we'll be talking about this more in the future.
This topic is out of date, but Antonio Brown requested a trade from the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
Where's it going? Because I have no idea.
I mean, I'll start. He's going to land with the Raiders because they have the money.
Okay.
Or because I mean nobody really else has the money. There are
lots of places that have the money.
Sure, but he clearly needs money, and if he can't get that money, he's going to retire, and then in 10 years we're going to have a 30 for 30 on his broke ass, and he's going to be filled with regrets.
It'll be Broke Part 2. Have you seen Broke?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait, is that the one with the It's the one with it's multiple athletes who went big.
Yeah. It's like Andre Rison.
Yes.
Yeah. It's all them. It's a good one. That'll be Broke Part 2.
Yeah.
I think the Packers might have a shot at him. They're desperate for receivers.
I like that.
How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers throwing passes to Antonio Brown?
That turns me on.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I just thought of that off the top of my head. Aren't you proud of me?
You know, it's funny because I was thinking
because the Raiders have Jordy Nelson.
Right.
And so they're going to need – so it's going to be – think about it. It would be Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, I was also thinking excuse me. I was thinking about the Michael Crabtree release that was announced today as well.
That's right.
And he was on my fantasy team actually last year and the year before. I'd floated him around, flex, bench, whatever, that kind of thing. But I remember just how disappointing Aaron Rodgers was for me fantasy-wise. And I'm like, well, I need to remember. I made a mental note to myself. I need to remember that a quarterback is only as good as his receiving troop. And
his bones.
Anyways. I will ignore that rude comment.
He's made of glass.
It's rude. It is rude. It is so fucking rude.
Oh, my collarbone hurts.
Anyways, that's kind of where that's what I'm thinking about Antonio Brown.
I could see the Raiders making, on paper, I could see the Raiders making a run at him, but I don't know that John Gruden is going to want to take the chance.
I think they're dumb enough.
Did he want to take the chance on Khalil Mack? Nope.
No, but they're dumb enough to pay the price.
I don't know. John Gruden hasn't showed me that he's a capable team leader since he's been back to the NFL.
John Gruden, I'm really excited to see when I'm waiting patiently. I don't think it's going to happen this season, but I'm waiting to see the moment when all of these terrible decisions actually culminate in this weird idea he must have floating around in the back of his head that's like guiding him. That
they're gonna like catch lightning in a bottle in 5 years. And
yeah, like
a title with like all these rookies.
I'm really wondering exactly when that moment will be, and I am excited about it. I feel it. It's real.
They don't even have the first pick in the draft. Like, where are you going to start, you know?
That's true. Ugh. Yeah, the cards. Oh, my God.
Train wreck. You can't even suck correctly, Oakland.
Oh, I have another question for you.
Yeah. They're also staying in Oakland for the next couple of years, by the way. They're not moving to Vegas just yet.
Right. Yeah, that's news to me. Someone was trying to tell me that I needed to go to Vegas for the Super Bowl next year, and I'm like, that's funny.
The Super Bowl's next year. It's in Miami.
Yeah, I know, but to gamble and spend all my money.
Oh, you're right.
And be a part of this new Raiders bullshit. But this actually brought up another idea. Speaking about draft picks, we're looking at free agency. We're looking at the draft. Everything's actually, it's so weird because I really thought we'd be bored in off season now, and we have had plenty to talk about. I'm wondering, because I don't think this has ever happened historically before, but I got the idea on the train here. So I'm throwing you a curveball.
Like just now, like a half hour ago.
Literally just now. With this Robert Kraft situation.
Yes.
Thinking about potential punishments from the league. Is it possible the Patriots can get draft picks pulled from them?
No, absolutely not.
You really don't think so?
I think the worst that's going to happen to Bob Kraft is he's going to either get I think the worst that happens to Bob Kraft is that he gets a big old fine. I think the NFL separates.
People are angry.
I know, but I think the NFL separates on. People were angry at Ray Rice. People were angry at Lawrence Tynes.
Well, yeah, and they're still like I'm still. I'm
still angry at Ray Rice. Yeah. But like, the NFL likes to separate its real world problems from its football problems. In the scope of football, I think he just gets a slap on the wrist, and I think it's a big fine, and that's it.
We'll see. I'm thinking about all.
But this whole, I saw Bart Scott's whole thing about they should take away the Patriots' whole draft. Like,
oh, that's bullshit. No, not the whole draft.
Jesus Christ!
Like,
does Bart Scott hate the Patriots or something? Like, what the fuck has Bart Scott ever done? Ever?
God.
Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Jeez. Speaking of curveballs,
segue.
Baseball.
Woo! Cheers to segues.
Cheers to baseball. Yankees.
Manny Machado is going to San Diego. Do we know about this contract?
Yes. It's $300 million for 10 years, $300 million.
There we go.
It is the second most expensive contract in the history of baseball.
Yeah.
San Diego, where baseball careers go to die. Manny Machado is not a good enough player to lead your team.
No.
When will people understand that he's just he's a good third? He's a decent third baseman with a big bat and nothing else.
Yep.
He's not a generational talent.
Nope.
They're making a huge mistake. They're the second lowest payroll in baseball and just spent $300 million on a mediocre to like decently good third baseman.
I think he's a pretty good third baseman. I just don't think that he's the answer to all their problems.
No, I completely agree. He's not the answer to all their problems. Also, I encourage you to go back and watch the last strike of the World Series from last year.
Okay. That said, this also leaves Bryce Harper.
He's the last one.
He's the last one. Maybe to the Bills, though. That's been reported as a very serious...
The who? The where? The Bills? Where are we?
I literally wrote on this.
I know. I saw that. I saw that, and I was like, how's she gonna pull this off?
Why didn't you tell me?
You gotta learn to ad lib, girl.
Oh my God.
You gotta learn to ad lib. So where's he going? Not the Bills.
I'm too ashamed to even talk about this anymore.
Is it the Phils?
I'm too ashamed to even talk about this anymore.
The Phillies have been thrown in there. He met with the Dodgers the other day, and I guess the Dodgers are back in the chase now, which I think would be a good thing for him, for that team, especially since you lose Machado and you get Harper.
I can't talk about this anymore. I am too ashamed. I'm sorry.
What did you mean by Bills? Which one? Did you mean the Phils?
I meant the Phils.
That's funny. Okay. I also agree that I'm happy the Yankees didn't bite that shit.
That was the actual point of that note. Was I'm just happy the Yankees haven't bought either of these guys a nice steady contract for the next foreseeable forever.
I saw a really interesting New York Post article, and I hate a headline, because the New York Post is all about their headlines, and I hate the New York Post. But it
the
was
Daily News too.
Yeah. But it was from Brian Cashman, who said that the days of Steinbrenner's spend at all costs are over, which was really interesting to me, because I've only ever known the Yankees to like go out and get, you know, the A-Rods of the world, to go out and get, you know, all these big name players. Like I would know everybody on the Red Sox because they were my team. I would know everybody on the Yankees as well because there were big names on the Yankees. From what I had heard. And that was just a really interesting thing that I saw, that Cashman's no longer interested in this spend at all costs. They just re-signed Aaron Hicks to 7 years, $70 million.
Right.
To lock down third base.
Right.
So.
Look, the Yankees look good. They looked good this year for the most part.
Yeah, they looked good the year before that too.
We are going to need a pitcher. We are going to need a pitcher.
You just got Ottavino, though, from Colorado, I think. Colorado.
We'll see how he blends with the team.
Right.
I'm excited to kind of see what we end up doing with the rest of our opportunity here. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Shall we sit on?
The last one?
Yeah. I texted Andrew at, like 4:30 yesterday?
And I thought about her at 3:30 p.m. yesterday.
And I was like, what are you doing for the Oscars, by the way? Like, I'm in my jammies. But the thing about Andrew is, like, he's the best, like, third wheel ever because he's my other husband. So I wasn't inviting anyone over for the Oscars. But that said, Andrew is always invited. He just kind of walks into my house, and I'm like, oh, you belong here. He's like our pet or something.
This guy. I'm a golden retriever, except I'm a human.
He's like, oh, I was just going to ask you. And I'm like, I mean, I guess if you want to come over, I am going to be in jammies and probably not going to be super invested in the Oscars because I don't really like the Oscars because I don't watch the movies. Andrew watches every fucking thing. Neither
you nor Mike were invested in the Oscars, and then Mike found the odds for all the movies, and then he was invested in the Oscars.
Yeah, that's Mike. That's my boy.
There were some surprises last night. There were some not so surprises last night. Alfonso Cuarón walked away with 3 Oscars for single-handedly for Roma. The biggest surprise of the night was when, I thought when Olivia Colman won Best Actress.
Sure.
No one saw that coming.
No, she didn't even see it coming. She just goes, Lady Gaga.
She's so funny.
She's so goddamn
I wish
funny.
she were my friend. Go see The Favorite, because The Favorite's got some great performances in it.
Was it good?
It was too dry for me, and it was too slow, but the 3 women, Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz.
I'm all for female-led movies.
All 3 of them were excellent.
Let's do that shit, guys.
Green Book won Best Picture, though, and I don't really like that.
Yeah, I would like to hear your thoughts on this, and then I'm going to argue with you.
Okay, so I'm not going to say this first shit that I wrote.
Okay.
Because it was a tweet that happened, and it got deleted, and I don't want to be one of those people who pulls tweets from the grave.
We're not those people. It's fine.
Green Book is fine. For taking it as it is, Green Book is a cliche, overly manipulative movie with heart. But I think it speaks to old white people and tells them that it's okay to be old white people. This is a movie where a white guy unironically teaches a black guy how to eat chicken and eat fried chicken, and it passes this thing off. It passes a white guy teaching a black man what it means to be black as like cutesy bonding.
Okay, but
which is so like not what we're going for here. This is the same Academy that picked Moonlight.
Right.
Did you see Moonlight?
No, I still haven't seen Moonlight.
This is the thing. Is that she doesn't watch all these movies.
I hate movies, you guys. I'm sorry. I like TV because I can commit to the characters for a long period of time and cry at the finales, and I'm really sorry. I don't like the movies. That said, the Oscars have a kind of weird pull on me, and I think it's because I used to watch when Hugh Jackman hosted, and it was awesome.
Just the one time?
Yeah, well, Hugh Jackman's the best host of any televised award show ever.
I highly disagree with you, but
you're wrong.
Okay.
But here's the thing. Going back to Green Book here, You did say, because I have not seen it, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I would like to see it at this point, obviously. But I've heard a lot of talk, specifically within my LWAS community, about a white savior narrative.
Yes.
And you said that that was not the problem.
Well, it is and it isn't. Because when you're looking at, I took a couple hours to sleep on it last night. And so it is and it isn't. When you see the movie and you know these things coming into it, that people have said this about it, the script is concrete enough that it lays out the boundaries as to what the two characters are about.
Sure.
Okay, so Viggo Mortensen's character is employed by Mahershala Ali's character.
Right.
Mahershala Ali is a black pianist who's going on a tour of the Deep South, and he employs Viggo Mortensen to be his driver and bodyguard. Mahershala Ali's character is a deeply...
And then they fall in love.
Mahershala Ali's character is a deep... This is not... Okay. Viggo Mortensen's... Mahershala Ali's character is a deeply troubled individual. And so he'll get into some trouble sometimes. And it also just happens to take place in 1960s America, where people really weren't so kind to...
In the Deep South,
to black people.
Yeah.
And so Viggo Mortensen's character is contractually obligated to, I guess, protect him and pull him out of situations, which on paper is a white savior narrative. But it's just this, like... I feel like the Academy has taken a step back and they really showed their age with this pick. What I can call this is like a very, very safe selection for Best Picture. Very, very safe, I think.
Okay.
It's a movie about race. It touches on some hot button issues. It's not too far from where we are today, all this other stuff. But there were just so many better movies this year. On top of it.
Right.
Yeah. A Star is Born was better than it. The Favorite was better than it. Black Klansman was better than it. And I didn't really like The Favorite either.
Here's the thing. Obviously, the Academy has been rigged to pick less conventional storylines. What with the times that we're living in, i.e. those that display minorities, you know.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, you can't...
No, that's when it's been rigged. I think these people are picking these movies so they're like, we've changed, we're progressing, blah, blah, blah. And I think this is particularly just in the last few years, and it's completely a result of the backlash that they've received. I think it's trash. But that said, I'm glad that the Oscar did not go to Bohemian Rhapsody or Vice or even A Star is Born, which I did see. That's like the one movie I saw because I had to review it. And
I disagree with you about Vice, because Vice was excellent and eye-opening.
But
just super, like,
it glorifies this terrible.
It doesn't do that, but that's okay.
All right.
Did you see it?
No, I have not seen it, so I'm going to stop talking.
Yes, it doesn't do that. Okay.
But the whole idea of them giving the awards to, you know, picks that would not have been picked in, 10 years ago. Shit, I don't know.
Well, they were. That's the thing, is that this is like
but the whole
Crash beating Brokeback Mountain. Crash is a shitty movie about race relations in LA.
Right.
Brokeback Mountain is a revolutionary movie about two repressed homosexual men.
But the whole idea is they want to like bring other stories to light, and they're doing it in the wrong way. I wouldn't be surprised if Green Book won for the wrong reasons. But because of the state of this nation. And the reality is that we are in a horrifying situation right now, that, while depicted historically in Green Book, is not dissimilar enough from where we are now.
Somebody brought this up to me earlier today as to why Roma didn't win Best Picture. Roma, by the way, is absolutely stunning.
Well, it won Best Foreign Film, which was cool.
Yeah, but like, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
Honestly,
You're
like,
right.
if you don't win, it's like winning the All-Star game. If you don't win the World Series, who cares?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So somebody brought this up to me. It's a good point. Roma was released on Netflix, and I feel like there may have been some kind of Netflix bias there. Because think about all the people who have worked so very hard in their lives to make movies for film, for film and to put in movie theaters.
Yes.
And you have this guy who won an Oscar for Gravity, making it on the big screen, and then all of a sudden goes to Netflix,
right?
Which has this, this stigma of, it has this like troublesome past where people are like, is it TV? Is it film? It's both. But like, people are upset. They think it can only be one or the other. And then the other thing is that they don't release their box office figures too, which also pisses people off.
Right.
So I think that there may have been some kind of Netflix bias against Roma. I also think that the people chose heart over art as well. But Roma was the best made film of that group of Best Picture nominees, in my opinion. It should have won. You and I usually disagree on these things, but I don't have the right to argue because I did not see the films. I'm gonna bring this up really, really quick before we move into my follow-up question. But just because everyone's talking about it, and I hope it's what I think it is.
The eye contact.
Oh my God, the eye contact.
Oh my God, I'm haunted because that's.
Are they fucking? They have to be fucking.
All right, look, here's the thing.
They have to be.
Here's the thing.
Come on, they have to be.
Here's the thing. For those of you who are living under a rock, we are discussing Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. I was listening to the Le Batard show earlier, obviously, because I have this weird thing for Dan Le Batard because he's hot to me for some reason. And we're going to forget I said that out loud.
Dan, if you're watching.
No, he's engaged now. But I know everything. But
Gaga just broke off her engagement, by the way. Yeah,
exactly. And there's all this talk about like Bradley Cooper's girlfriend or wife. Actually, I believe he's still married. The thing is that on the Le Batard show they talked about this, and it was like, well, he as a director stripped her down and made her feel vulnerable and made her feel comfortable being vulnerable.
Yep.
And she stripped him down and made him comfortable singing. They clearly spent a lot of time just being vulnerable around each other.
For sure.
And also, just to tack something on at the end of that, another thing mentioned on the Le Batard show, if Bradley Cooper showed up at my door, my relationship would be over.
Mike, if you're watching...
I think if Bradley Cooper showed up at your door and you were in a relationship,
your
relationship would also be over.
Yeah,
and you are a straight man.
Yeah,
this is just how the world works.
Yeah, that's accurate. Bradley Cooper is as good a singer as Gaga is an actress. 100%.
No.
Why is that a bad comparison?
No.
Why is that a bad comparison?
He was very good yesterday.
Yeah.
I saw the video from when he went up and sang with her in Vegas, and I did not think he was very good.
Yeah, because I didn't think he was all that spectacular yesterday.
But that performance, I'm like sitting on the couch and
panties were dropping yesterday. If you listen closely,
I was drooling everywhere.
Yeah.
I was also wasted, which explains my massive hangover today. Yeah. Okay, now my follow-up here. So here's the other thing, and I pitched this to the writers at LWAS today too. Do the Oscars need a host?
Nope.
So Mike thinks yes.
Nope.
Michael left the awards feeling completely bored yesterday, and it's probably just because he picked a lot of things wrong and was pissed.
He came in second place.
He did. I came in last with my picks.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with that whatsoever because I know I didn't watch any of the fucking movies. But I'm kind of with you because here's the thing. I think that an award show can benefit from an excellent host. Like if Amy Poehler, Maya Rudolph, and Tina Fey had been the hosts, it would have been a great fucking show. That said, I always think back to this Anne Hathaway, James Franco year, which was a catastrophe. Because even though he was like clearly on drugs the entire time, she wasn't funny. And I love Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, it was a strange choice to pick them together.
How can you? It's warm now. Oh my Lord. All right. Anyways, do you have further thoughts on this host thing?
Yeah, I agree. I think it can benefit from a good host. I think Kevin Hart would have been a good, funny host.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the thing was 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Last year it was almost 4 hours. The year before that it was over 4 hours.
They did a really good job with the time, but that said, I also felt
they could have wrapped it up before 11, but they didn't. They stretched it an extra 45 minutes.
Right.
As somebody who has watched a lot of Oscar ceremonies, and they just go on and on and on with just bullshit. It was kind of refreshing not to have a host. I thought the show flowed a little better. Like all of a sudden it was 10:30 and we had gone through all but the top 4 awards of the night.
Well, but I also, and I do love though, like the idea of, and they didn't, like they weren't in a lack for an opening number. They had a great opening number with Adam Lambert and Queen.
Yes, I like that a lot. That was good.
I did too. And I love, and sometimes it's a monologue if it's a comedian. Hugh Jackman did an opening number when he did it. All award shows to me are held to the standard of when Hugh Jackman hosts, because I think he's the best host of all time.
I disagree.
I know.
100%.
I don't know why, but
because have you ever seen Neil Patrick Harris host the Tonys?
I have, but I've also seen Hugh Jackman host it 3 times, and
PH has hosted it 4, and he's got the 2 best opening numbers in Tony history. It's not just for gays anymore, and we could go bigger. Those 2. Excellent.
I loved Hugh Jackman's One Night Only in 2004.
And then
that was my first Tony.
And then he opened the one in 2013 where he hopped around the stage for 15 minutes. Remember that one?
Yeah, that was a little weird.
That was weird.
I'll let that go. But anyways.
But also, like, you can't say that about him hosting the Oscars. Bob Hope. Bob Hope. Well, it was before we were born, but yeah, Bob Hope hosted it forever, and he's the funniest host of all time. Bob Hope. But no, I don't think the Oscars need a host. Necessarily.
I think if they can find the right fit, then fine, have a fucking host. But I don't think they suffered without a host.
I don't think that they made a good case for themselves about showing things, showing everything live when they had the idea to have awards during commercials. I don't think that they did themselves any favors.
Sure.
Because remember that the first 3-4 awards, the speeches were bad. They were like real bad. Like, I mean, no disrespect to Regina King, but like it was.
Oh, I liked Regina King's. I thought she was just overwhelmed, but she also knew she was going to win.
Chelsea says the Hugh Hop, that was amazing.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I didn't, but I love Hugh Jackman too much to.
Chelsea and Kata bonded over Oklahoma this past week.
Oh yeah, you saw that on the. Oh God, I don't want to.
I sure did. Open it.
It's so warm now.
The Oscars didn't do themselves any favors by having just like bad speeches for the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The poor 3 poor people who got up there and they were like, you say this.
They were makeup people, right? Or costume people.
Something like that.
God,
yeah.
I feel so bad.
It was really painful to watch.
But it really was. And they're not performers, and obviously not only performers are recognized at the Oscars, nor should they be, nor should it be that way. But that was really difficult.
Yeah. If you're gonna have a speech, you better make it good.
Practice.
Right. You gotta practice.
It's
even if you don't think you're gonna win, you should have a speech. Just in case. Just saying. It'll make the thing a lot more enjoyable.
We made a joke last night because I was joking around and I was like, oh yeah, when I win like my Emmy or whatever, I'm gonna have to thank my husband Andrew and my boyfriend Michael.
What was the best thing? What was the best thing you saw this week?
The Nike ad, Dream Crazier.
I saw it last night too. I cried.
It was during the Oscars, and it's funny because our friend Michelle, our mutual friend Michelle, who we actually met through, sent it to me, and she was like, "I haven't watched this with audio yet because she was in rehearsal."
Yeah.
I was extremely I wasn't emotional about it. I was just so excited by it.
Yeah.
I
got chills
propelled.
watching it. Yep.
The boys were both emotional.
Yeah, you looked.
I looked to my left, or no, my right, I guess, last night, and Andrew and Mike are like,
we're just
teary-eyed, like, and I'm just like,
oh yeah,
fuck yes, blah, blah, blah. I was into it.
That leg kick though, good for you.
I'll do Broadway. I'll do more of that on the show if you guys like that.
Excellent.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, what was the best thing you saw this week, babe?
Couple of things. I saw a video of a mic'd up 4-year-old playing hockey. Did you see this?
No.
Okay, so it's so cute.
You texted me about it.
I did. It's the cutest thing. It's this little kid, and he obviously just learned how to skate because every time he skates, he goes like 1 foot, the other foot, and he goes 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then there's one where he falls down and then he lies on his back. He goes, I'm going to take a nap. And that is a mood right there.
Oh, yes, napping all the time. You know how much I love naps.
The other thing also involves hockey. The Flyers and Penguins played each other at Lincoln Financial Field in the NHL Stadium Series. Gritty, our favorite mascot of all time. Our favorite mascot of all time. Yes, nod your head, yes.
No.
Our favorite mascot of all time.
No, I'm terrified.
Zip-lined in like a glowing suit. And then midway through the game, he went streaking.
And was ejected promptly.
Yes, he was. Gritty is the best. We are all Gritnesses. We are all Gritnesses.
One more. Just a runner-up was the dog catching the frisbee.
Yeah, that was impressive. There was the guy who threw the frisbee like 83 yards, and the dog caught it.
And the dog caught it and ran back. And apparently, the announcer said it was like a record, but I don't really know what they're recording it against.
Yes.
So. Anyways, this has been a nice little show.
Can we talk about that thing that Paul and I did last week that you may not have seen?
Oh, I still haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Last week, if you remember, really quick, Paul and I did a fictional football draft where we took a bunch of players from movies and TV and we drafted them onto our teams. We said that we were going to leave it up to the internet to decide which team was the best one. Those teams are now on our Instagram at UFR Podcast. Go and check it out. We'll post a link as well on our Facebook. Make sure that you vote. Because the loser's going to have to do something embarrassing. We don't know what.
I'll decide.
She's going to decide.
I'll decide.
On the fly. It's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Do we have a challenge for this week or not? We didn't decide on a punishment?
Well, we have our ongoing challenge that's happening about
Gronk.
About Gronk retiring, in which the loser has to eat an entire head of lettuce a la Mike Brown. Can we show that to the world? It's a snap, so we probably shouldn't.
No, I'm not going to call her out for that.
Damn.
I will do not. Chelsea. Well
Chelsea.
Done. Appreciate you, girl.
I'm directing this towards Chelsea. I think Gritty eats ass.
Probably. He snorts it like Leo in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Ew.
He like snorts crack.
No, eats ass.
Yeah, he does that too. I'm sure.
What? Oh my god.
The googly eyes.
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Oh Lord, my brain is just. Anyways, guys, we'll see you at 8. Hopefully, if you're in the city, come and watch me embarrass myself heavily. I haven't decided if I'm telling a story about boobs or a story about when some butt.
Tell them. Oh my god, tell them both. That's incredible.
I can't.
No, I want to hear both of them.
And then also there was a vote on the LWASH chat yesterday to tell the story about when I thoroughly embarrassed myself in front of Denzel Washington.
Yes.
Basically, all I have is my life stories because I'm trash. So we're gonna see what happens. But please come out. It's gonna be filthy and awesome and stupid, and we're gonna get real drunk.
We're like already there.
I'm not.
Okay. All I had to eat today was a turkey sandwich. So I'm
I'm hungry. Can we get food?
Yes, we can.
All right.
Thank you all for watching.
Bye. We've been under further review.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Kata.
Bye, everybody.
We'll see you next week from another secret location.
No, do the thing.
Okay, see, we're better at it.
That had some harmony to it, though.
Well, yeah, but because you're amazing. But the thing is that the recording is so much better.
Yeah.
Because it's so bad, and we just get better at it every time. Oh my god.